today I'm here to show you a vast and wonderful place. Not made by God Almighty, but the working man. Now, how about we turn on some lights?
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at what the Fallout TV series switched up, left out, or just got plain wrong within the series. We're also throwing up a huge spoiler warning for the show and all 8 of its episodes.
Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. War never changes. Fans of the games will be familiar with
War never changes.
Every game opens with this maxim, along with a cutscene showing what's happened to the world, as a way to quickly bring everybody up to speed on the setting and the themes.
Maybe.
The TV show doesn't have one of these. It doesn't necessarily need one, but it still would have been nice to see the Great War and its belligerents explained in a few minutes.
In the 21st century, war was still waged over the resources that could be acquired.
But there are plenty of Fallout concepts that aren't really explained in the show, too. Like something as simple as the Pit Boys. This is fine for gamers, but it might leave newcomers a little confused.
In 2077, the storm of World War had come again. In 2 brief hours, most of the planet was reduced to cinders.
Vault-Tec Savings Plan. We see in early episodes that Vault-Tec also provided people with poison so that they could take their own lives in the event of a nuclear apocalypse. It's grisly, but Lucy does come across a family of skeletons who did just that. And Wilzig also takes a cyanide pill, courtesy of Vault-Tec.
No, you see, I've just taken a cyanide pill. What?
This is the first we've seen of Vault-Tec providing people with lower level plans for how to endure, or not endure, a nuclear apocalypse. And it's certainly an interesting addition to the lore, showing just how nefarious Vault-Tec really was. Like the human experimentation wasn't already bad enough.
Vault-Tec Plan D. It was the most humane product that Vault-Tec ever made. It was quick, painless, tasted like banana. I was surprised it wasn't more popular.
Squires.
And I'd be grateful to the Brotherhood for giving my life meaning.
Good boy.
This is an almost entirely new concept the show adds to the Brotherhood of Steel. We see the Brotherhood Initiates can be promoted to the rank of Squire, which means they're partnered with an established knight, becoming their manservant and calling them my lord. This is a little odd since, in the games, the Brotherhood just use the language of medieval knights. They don't actually behave like them.
I see you went with the tempered lining on the T60. Does that help with mobility?
In the games, Squire is a title given to the children that work, in a limited capacity, in Brotherhood bases and aboard the Pridewind. And though trainees are partnered with their seniors so that they can learn from them, Brotherhood Knights don't have servants who clean their armor. They're actually meant to be responsible for maintaining their own armor to show responsibility.
Clean them.
Brotherhood Initiation. Still on the topic of the Squires, they're initiated into this role in a very bizarre way.
And you will be Knight Titus, new squire.
Near the beginning, Maximus is made the squire of Knight Titus in place of his friend Dane, who's been injured. As part of this, Titus brands Maximus with the letter T between his shoulder blades, marking him forever.
It is your most sacred duty to protect the Brotherhood.
Later, while disguising himself as Titus, Maximus brands Thaddeus in the same way. Not only is the Brotherhood branding themselves very strange, but they have custom brands so that people are permanently shown to have served a specific knight. Even at their most cult-like, the Brotherhood in the game stops short of branding their fellow soldiers. super mutants.
It can't be. Either you are quite real, and I am going quite mad.
If you're a fan of the super mutants, particularly the many intelligent super mutants who appear throughout the games, you're going to be disappointed, because they don't appear in the series at all. Despite being quintessential to the world of Fallout, they're just not there. Perhaps the showrunners didn't want to get into the weeds of the forced evolutionary virus lore, or wanted to say that the super mutants have all been eradicated following the Masters' uprising back in Fallout 1.
No! Must you use that vulgar term? Yes. I was born in the FEV chambers, but a super mutant I certainly am not.
But the Master is never mentioned either, despite the show taking place in LA. It's definitely a shame not to see even one super mutant, and they easily could have had a friendly mutant hanging around Philly like Fox or Marcus. Not all the mutants are dangerous after all.
I figured us mutants needed a place to call our own. Towns far enough away from humans so they don't bother us much.
The Enclave.
It is believed that a denizen of the Enclave has escaped.
The Enclave's real?
The super mutants aren't here, but bizarrely, the Enclave is. Despite being set in 2296, the Enclave seems to be thriving and doing plenty of research, largely into dogs and nuclear fusion, somewhere in the wasteland.
Making our reactor meltdown means that things are going to be pretty hot in here soon. Pity you won't live long enough to see it.
Obviously, if you're familiar with the West Coast lore, this is baffling, since the Enclave was meant to have been all but eradicated during Fallout 2, which is set in 2241. Sure, they came back in Fallout 3, but this itself is somewhat contradictory. As we see in New Vegas, the Enclave are gone. You go on a quest to gather the Enclave remnants, and there's only a small handful of them, all elderly by now, and certainly not throwing puppies into incinerators.
In the years following the destruction of the Enclave, Vault City continued to stagnate, choking on its own isolationism.
Ghouls.
How you feeling?
No! You know, it's hard out here.
In the 4th episode, we're given more information about the Ghouls. Though we've already spent plenty of time by now with Cooper Howard, Walton Goggins' Ghoul character, they're not explained in great detail.
Hey, Smoothskin, you need something? A drink maybe? Anything? Anything at all?
But in this episode, Lucy meets a ghoul on the cusp of turning feral, and it's revealed that all ghouls are at risk of turning feral if they don't take a yellow substance regularly.
You don't get these, you turn into one of those? That how it works?
In the games, sentient ghouls can't turn into feral ghouls that we know of. This is a major sticking point in ghoul-human relations, as some humans believe they could turn into monsters at a moment's notice. They definitely don't need to take Zombrex at regular intervals to stay sane.
Heart is a sad affair.
You shouldn't me.
There's much
Who started the war?
Vault-Tec is the largest company in America. There's a lot of money in selling the end of the world.
It's key to the games and the anti-war point they're all trying to make that nobody actually knows who started the war, whether it was China or America. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, because the message is about not repeating the mistakes of the past. But that apparently wasn't good enough for the show, which decides that not only is it going to tell us in detail how the war started, but it's going to blame Vault-Tec.
America has been locked in a resource war for over a decade. Vault-Tec bought the means to end that war, the same war you fought in, so they could put it on the shelf.
While it makes sense to set Vault-Tec up as the big bad like this, all the logic is flawed. They started the war because peace was about to be brokered, meaning they'd have lost money on their fallout shelters. This completely disrupts the anti-jingoist and anti-nationalist stance the games have specifically taken.
But we're talking about making a significant investment based on a hypothetical. How can you guarantee results?
By dropping the bomb ourselves.
Shady Sands.
Why?
This isn't real, right?
This sticks out like a sore thumb in the 6th episode, while Lucy explores Vault 4. She finds a chalkboard with messages of remembrance for Shady Sands, the shining capital of the new California Republic, saying that it was destroyed by a nuclear bomb in 2277. This is despite the fact that in 2281, when New Vegas takes place, Shady Sands seemed to be alive and well and definitely hadn't been destroyed by an H-bomb.
Okay, second question. What was the original name of the NCR capital? Aradesh, Shady Sands, the Boneyard, or Vault 13?
If you want to wipe Shady Sands off the map, maybe it was destroyed after the events of New Vegas, considering anything else is directly contradictory to the existing lore. It also suggested that the series' supposed villain Moldaver is the original founder of Shady Sands, and that Shady Sands is where the Boneyard is supposed to be.
What animal is on the NCR's flag? A two-headed bear, an eagle, a two-headed snake, or a two-tailed lion?
The NCR.
Eventually, the city was absorbed by NCR, which had spread steadily northward since its founding.
Not only has Shady Sands been erased, with its former citizens fleeing into Vault 4, but it seems like the entirety of the NCR has collapsed after that nuclear bomb was dropped. Moldaver leads the last remnants of the NCR as they try to rebuild, which, again, flies in the face of the established canon.
As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic.
How can the events of New Vegas happen at all if the NCR no longer existed as a military power by the 2280s?
As the Republic grew, so did its needs.
And that's without getting into the fact that Caesar's Legion doesn't appear to exist at all, and that when we see Vegas itself in the closing shot of the show, it doesn't look like the shiny metropolis Mr. House has made it. It looks like it's already been destroyed. This raises the question many fans have had, which is, why set it in California at all?
You never heard of the new California Republic?
Let us know in the comments what you thought of the Fallout TV show.
And now you can be a hero too, by purchasing a residence in a Vault-Tec vault today. Because if the worst should happen tomorrow, the world is going to need Americans just like you to build a better day after.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.